Hello, I jumped in before the thing there, but it's okay. Nobody will notice. It'll be alright. Hello, good evening, and welcome to another Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday. With me, Chris, Gross Models, lots of other things as well, as are most of you are well aware. It looks like it's just me this evening, at least it is so far. There may be others turning up as time goes by. We'll find out. If they do, they do. If they don't, it will just be me for a little while because it's too hot to do anything and stuff and things. And it's been quite sunny out there again today. But so I put through the preamble and clicked on everybody that's been in, everybody that I've noticed that's been in. If I missed you, I apologise. But say something now and we'll talk to you then. But oh look, there's someone else has just turned up. Swigging Pigs just come in saying evening all. Good evening and welcome. For some reason, Mayhem's saying badger badger. I don't know why. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm sure I'll find out. For some reason, the StreamYard chat seems to be lagging a little bit tonight. So, yeah, if you comment and I don't click on it, it might be that it just hasn't come through quite yet. But, yeah, keep talking. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk to me, whatever you want to do. You know, it's one of those things. One of those evenings. Sarah Jane says, hang on, it's Chris, wrong channel. Yes. Oh, bye Sarah Jane. Go and watch something more interesting. It's fine. We'll see you another time. Ian says, I missed you. See, it moved just as I clicked on it. Into the mist, we missed him. I didn't think you were there. You weren't there, were you? I didn't see you and skip over you. I think you just weren't there at all. But anyway, you're here now. That's the important thing. So welcome. Yeah, Dave's saying that StreamYard was lagging this afternoon as well, so yes, it might be. Hopefully the picture and everything is coming through as it should. I seem to be shorter than normal. Let me have a little bit of camera adjustment. That's about the same, I think. I don't think that's any different. Let me get both hands on the job and come at you. How's that? That's a little bit better. Yeah, that seems to be a bit closer than that. Right. So, yes. It's Thursday. I know I wasn't here yesterday. I know I'm normally here yesterday, and I was going to be here. I was quite excited to be here yesterday as well. I've got a new, I say project. I'm going to take my earpiece out, because there's nobody here talking to me. I'll notice if anyone pops up. But I don't need to have that and be listening to it doing nothing in my ear while I can hear myself through my actual ears from my mouth hole. So, yes, I've got a different project. Would you like to see a sneak preview of my new Wednesday projects? If you do, let me know. If you don't, then let me know. And if there's more that don't, then I won't. But if there is some that do, then I probably will anyway. But yeah, because I've been doing Lego and Nano and wooden kits and things like that, but I've run out of most of those. I've got another Lego kit which I've already done, the Land Speeder. Which I might do at some point as well. But the Nano dog is right behind me. You can't see it because it's right behind me. There he is. Coming along. Got a couple more weeks left to go on that, no doubt. But yeah, I wanted something else to do. Now I've got a couple of side ideas as to what I can do. I did the very unusual water-powered robot thing, which seemed to go down quite well. People seem to enjoy that. I've been on the lookout for something similar to that, but I haven't found anything yet. But let's have a look. And Eric says, anyone trying to figure out what happened on Primetime Stream the other day? I watched the beginning of it, but then I had to go and do something else. Did something happen? What? Dave might know. Dave's normally on it, so he might be able to tell you. But right, Sprue and Glue says yes please. Ian says go on then. Mayhem says no, but if he does it again there'll be a lynching. I don't know what. I must have missed something interesting. I might go back and have a look. Ghost Rider says go on then. My wife Gemma says you had to house yourself and decided to slack off yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I was going to start, but I had a headache and I just didn't. Sitting in front of the screen doing things and whatever. No, I went to bed early. That's the rock and roll lifestyle I lead. I get the house to myself, so yes, obviously I go to bed early. Yeah. B3's being particularly nice today. I don't know, Charles so great one. He said, yeah, I quite like this. I quite like this niceness. Enlighten us, Eric. I thought Dad was on the stream as well, so I don't know. It does. I drank on brandy. I didn't even pour a glass of brandy out. I do have a glass of brandy tonight because I'm online tonight, so I've got to. It's the rules. Only a small one though. Sarah Jane says all you need to know is I won. It was a competition. You won something, did you? Cool. I've got his. Look, you can see. I've got. You might not be able to see it. Sort of behind the light there. I've got Philip's sticker up there. Shane's here. Shane's saying good evening, Chris and everyone. Hope you're all well. Yes, fine, fine tonight, thank you. Go on. Chris was fast asleep. I probably was, yes. That's everyone. Right, yes. What I'm going to be doing, it's just over there behind the camera. So let me manoeuvre myself once again, somewhat closer to the camera than most people would like. I was sitting thinking. I've titled it Midweek Makings, the stream that I do on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So I don't want it to be focused on any particular thing. So the Wooden Wednesday was great, and you know, while I was doing wooden kits and had other days that I was doing other things, that was great fun. But there's more things happening now. So I'm going to bring in the couple of people that have popped into the stream, and then I'll show you what I've got. So let's see. We have Mr. Q8 himself, Spid, has turned up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and other non-denominational creatures.
Absolutely, we're all here. We're all non-denominational. We're all fine. And we also have the last through standing, Jerry, looking very intently down at himself. I don't know what he's doing down there.
I'm just carving something.
Okay.
Hello all.
Good evening and welcome. Yes, I'll just show you what I'm going to attempt to do next Wednesday. It might not work. It's the sort of thing that might be brilliant and might not work, but it might not. I found this that I've had for many years, and never actually done anything with. So if you can see,
that contain all of the ships that are on the cover then?
It does. It's got pages and pages and pages of Star Trek origami.
Excellent. All right, so it's not, you don't pop them out for the book and
you don't pop them out. You actually just get paper and do it yourself.
Oh, okay.
I thought it did come with sheets of sort of pre-printed paper, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I must be another one that I'm thinking of, something else.
I've seen books like that where they're kind of like thick card and you pop them out. They're sort of pre-cut.
All right, no, this is proper origami. It's
good.
It really is absolutely. I mean, there's easy ones. Oh, there we go. Let me just put myself front and centre. That's what is included in the. I can't see the screen now, so I can't point that. That way.
That's quite a lot of ships then.
That's what's in it. There are a lot. I mean, the Borg cube is obviously very easy. That's a cube.
I was going to say, don't tell me you're starting with the Borg cube. That would
I can do that one without instructions. I know how to make a cube in origami. It's quite impressive, but it's still just, yeah. But it's got what have we got? The Enterprise 1701, the Enterprise A, D, E. It's got the Defiant and Voyager and Shuttlecraft Type 6, Shuttlecraft Type 9. It's got Deep Space Nine, a Klingon Battle Cruiser, a Klingon Bird of Prey, the Borg Cube, the Ferengi Marauder, Cardassian. It's a bit dark here for some reason. I've got the light on. But Galor class, is it warship? I don't know. The Cardassian one, the big long Cardassian one there. It's got the Jem'Hadar attack ship and the Romulan Bird of Prey as well.
The one thing I know about Cardassian ships is that they have 4 lives.
Yeah, some of them are several bits of paper, and some of them are, begin with a square of paper.
That sounds really cool.
So I shall be attempting that. I don't know if it's going to work as a live stream, mainly because I'm not very good at origami. I've done bits here and there, but I don't remember all of the folds and the moves and stuff. So when it says, do this fold, I'm like, okay, I have to flip back further in the book to find out what that fold is and do that, and then come back and do it again.
I imagine it'll have sort of tutorials, though, early on in the book.
It's got, yeah, I've thrown it out of reach now. I can't reach it, but yes, it's got, each and every type of fold that you'll need for it in there. So in theory, but in practice, I don't know. It might not work. I have a backup plan if it doesn't work on the day. But yeah, let's just have a look through the chat and see the people's reactions to this. Sprue and Glue saying what big eyes you have. Is that just because I got really close to the camera? I'm not going to do it again because it means moving. Mayhem saying it's Spit, otherwise known as the bone boiler. Yep. Not the bunny boiler. It's chickens instead. Yep. Eric is shocked that Jerry's alive for some reason. I don't know. Has someone attempted your life, Jerry, or something? Or... I can't hear you.
That's possibly because I've not been around for a couple of weeks.
B Cubed says, "Oh, I had that. Did you build any? Can you come and help me? Because I don't think I'm going to be very good at it." Mayhem saying, "Great jumping squigs on a squig plate. A creature's taken up residence on Jerry's face."
I can't swear on this channel, so yeah.
Everyone's saying hello to you though. Oh, and to Spid as well. Dave says I'd stick to the Borg if I were doing it. Yeah, I might start with the Borg because I know how to do that one. Scott at the Junk Works says, "Good news, my PC is fixed, so I should have some content up at the weekend." That's always good to see. Don't forget to, let us know when stuff's up and about and stuff and things. Gemma's saying that the brandy obviously caused the sleeplessness. Maybe it was lack of brandy that caused it. I don't know, because I didn't have any brandy at all yesterday. I generally only open the brandy for special occasions, like doing live streams for you lovely people. But so I haven't opened it when I wasn't. Right, let's have a look and see. Mayhem's happy that Scott's going to have some content up again. Some more content, I should say. Sarah Jane says, "Star Trek, this channel's gone downhill." There's nothing wrong with Star Trek. I do prefer Star Wars as an option, but Star Trek's fine. It's
what a disgraceful thing to say. This channel never went uphill to start with.
Tim says, "Downhill to awesomeness." Yeah. Ian says he got the reference even if no one else did. I don't know. I might not have caught it, but
I was saying the only thing I know about Cardassian ships is that they have 4 lights. I'm assuming it means that.
Yeah, I did get it, but it just wasn't funny. But...
Yeah, I know. I'm just not appreciating. But thank you, Ian. At least you appreciate it.
Dave says he's filled the brandy bottle with cold tea, so you should not notice when you get home. Thanks, Dave. I couldn't know. I might not have many taste buds left, but the ones I've got do notice the difference. Mayhem says to Sarah Jane, "The channel is now into the Twilight Zone. Yeah, do not adjust your set." Sprue and Glue blames the Baneblade. I really should finish that, but yeah. Vincent's here, Mr. Loth. Evening, gents. Good evening. You want to say hello to the ladies as well? There's ladies watching now. We're a multi-sexual stream, I think. I don't know, is that... I'm not allowed to say that. I don't know. There's people of all sexes watching this now.
Just go with equal opportunities, just safe.
Thanks, hello everybody. Mayhem for some reason says burger, which is never the wrong answer, but I don't quite understand why it's been mentioned. But
I've got to say, I had a very nice katsu curry just before the stream. Very well made. With leftovers.
B3 tried the shuttle. It was pants, so I gave up. The book's on a shelf in the spare room. Okay, so
did you not have a katsu curry the last time I came on this stream? Which was like about...
Probably did. I had one when my son was here. When I was the one when I was in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah.
Which was probably the last time you were on it. Yeah, that was what, 3-4 weeks ago.
I don't know.
In all fairness, I had a katsu curry last night. I can't.
No, I just answered it today, so
I got a takeaway from Wagamama's and
my curry senses were tingling, so I had to indulge. I must have known you were coming on tonight, Jerry. That's what it is.
Emma Jones being bribed into watching all the Star Wars and Star Trek films with new kits. That's always a good way to do it. Yep. All sexes and species too, says Tim. And absolutely, we're any and all.
We're not speciesist.
Emma Jane says it's the first time I've been called a lady. I'm sure it isn't. Mayhem is still trying to hunt down a decent Call of Cthulhu figure. I've never looked for them. I don't know, but I'm sure there are some about.
I would imagine that they're probably the kind of things that you get.
Uh,
I've certainly not seen anything mainstream.
you muted yourself in half of that. I don't know what.
Did I?
You're back now, but I don't know.
But
I would think like 3D
just saying,
printing.
I imagine it's the kind of
Straightways or
thing
something.
that'd be either vinyl or resin. I've never seen anything in mainstream plastic kits.
No. Mayhem is saying it's the first time I've been called a gentleman. I think someone's got me confused with me. Yeah, I wasn't talking to you. Right, so, yes, you two gents, what have you been up to this since the last time I saw you? Anything particular?
Me, nothing in particular. Still not really gotten the modelling mojo going on, but I have been playing with my little watchmaker lathe. I've managed to actually get that set up in its own little cubby over there, and I've been playing with that and just turning a little bit of pivot steel for just trying bits and bobs. And I have a little tiny bit there, which I turned into a little handle kind of thing.
I can see that a thing, but I couldn't tell you what it was. But
it's just a bit of freehand turning, which I've shaped like a little handle, which I was thinking I could stick on a model somewhere as a greebly, a thing. I don't know what, but just a little bit of practice. But
absolutely, I see you've got the clock on the wall behind you and not going.
Yes, it's sitting there and it occasionally ticks, and it's absolutely hopeless for telling the time, but it looks nice.
Absolutely,
it's not. It's definitely not a kit to buy if you want an accurate timekeeper. But it does.
No, I understand that might be a problem with it.
Yes, it
might be moderately accurate for about 5 minutes.
Get it moving, just gets it moving too fast, and it's.
Yep. Okay, Jerry's intent on something, although his head's fallen off. I'm not sure which, but
it's
don't worry him. It's fine. As long as he's still awake. Is he falling asleep? No, he's still moving.
No, it's moving. It's moving.
Right, let's have a look. Anything else been happening? Mayhem, yes, he was talking about the Great Cthulhu or a Predator kit. The Alien Hunter, not the Tonk. What's the Tonk?
Alien Hunter? Oh, I see. Yeah, Predator. You mean the Army Predator, not the... yes. Yeah. I was trying to think of a vehicle.
I don't know of another. The only Predator I can think of is the one from Predator.
Yeah. That had me confused.
I seem to have upset Mayhem, but you'll get over it. It's fine. With an H, yeah.
So I've actually seen some really good resin cast Predator kits. There's one. I don't know if it was a 3D one or if it was an actual resin cast kit with a Predator holding up a head with a spinal cord dangling off it.
Oh right, yep.
Which was very, very cool. It was really well painted up and everything. It looked great.
I've seen somebody painting one that's got like the big, the mouth open thing and stuff like that, and scales, and it looked really good. I can't remember who it was, but
they are very impressive when they're painted up. Well.
Did you? There was a bloke who printed a face mask version of the Predator mouth.
Ooh.
I'd love to see him go out in public in it, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Was it animated? Tell me it was animated.
It wasn't animated, but it was like the full sort of like that. So you had a mask underneath it, and it was like that.
I saw a guy make a Sub-Zero one that you could fit a thing in, so you could actually use it like a breathing mask. But it also had little things on the side that jetted out the clouds, so you could press a thing on it and it. Very good, very silly, but very good.
Right. Get that back up there. Right. Right. Yeah. Sarah Jane. Someone asked you. Must have been a Doctor Who fan, but Sarah Jane says she was before Doctor Who. Not seen Doctor Who since Tom Baker even. Yeah. I like Doctor Who. I've watched most of Doctor Who. I haven't watched like the last half of the last season. I just sort of got distracted by other things and didn't really bother going back to it. But
I've not seen any of the new ones. In fact, I've not seen any since Matt Baker, Matt Barker,
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. That's the one. Yeah, him. Yeah, since Peter Capaldi took over, I've not seen any of those. So
they're all good. They all have their moments, basically.
yeah, I did like Matt Smith, and I thought he was very good.
I did like Tennant. I thought David
Oh,
Tennant
yeah,
was a
David
very good
Tennant
Doctor.
really good, but I thought Matt Smith was good, and the episodes, especially the Queen Victoria werewolf one, I thought that was excellent. That was really, really good.
Yeah, a lot of them. I always remember Doctor Who as being multi-part episodes. Back in the
Yeah.
day, you know, the previous one, not the new Who. But
Yes.
looking back at some of the listings and things, they did have quite a lot of multi-part episodes, but there were also a lot of single episodes as well.
Mm.
So I think you just remember the big ones because they're the big ones. But
You do, yeah. But I mean, I remember that from being a kid when it was because you'd get home, you'd be like get home from school and
Yeah.
you're looking forward to what's going to happen next kind of thing. It was the excitement. But there were a lot of TV shows like that when I was a kid, where it was, you know, you'd get the cliffhanger ending, and then you'd be waiting for the next dramatic instalment.
so who was your Doctor of choice when you? I mean, most people's Doctor is the one that they watch when they were kids. So it's very dependent on time frame. So I do remember Davidson as being the Doctor when I was a kid and quite enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember a
liked
couple
Tom
before
Baker
and after, but
Peter Davidson was one I remember when I was young. But I think Tom Baker was probably because he was a bit more out there with that ridiculous long scarf and everything.
yeah.
But honestly, for the favourite Doctor, I'd have to say it's between David Tennant and Matt Smith.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there.
Because I just found them really, really good. They were both really.
Yeah, I mean things are different now. I mean not now with COVID and everything, but filmmaking and TV making now is very different to how it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
When you watch a lot of the old stuff, it's very much a case of these are my lines, and now I'm going to wait patiently while you deliver your line, and then it's my turn again.
Yeah.
Which is just how it was. That's
Oh yeah. I mean, TV filming back then was, it was very different to what you get now. I mean, they're more like movies now with the actual, the effects of it. Plus, as well.
Tim says Peter Cushing was the best Doctor Who, surely.
Now you see, I don't remember Peter Cushing.
Raging Waddler, Adam.
It was
if
like
you
in
make
the
one,
movie.
let's get some recipes printed out for work.
Hold on a minute.
You're welcome, you've got the link if you need it. Yes.
Peter Cushing was mostly in the Doctor Who movies. He never really did any of the series, but he was like the first Doctor Who.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't the first one. I can't remember
he
actually if
wasn't
he was the first, but he did like the Dalek movie films.
Oh, right, yep. Ray's about. Good evening. Good evening, Ray. Welcome. Ghost Rider says Tom Baker. Dave says Spid remembers William Hartnell as Doctor Who. Mayhem says my first into Doctor Who was Sylvester McCoy. Yeah, I feel for you. That's unfortunate.
Sylvester McCoy, I remember, but I was never.
I remember, but not for good reasons.
I wasn't overly keen on him.
See, Dad says William Hartnell was the best. If this is Doctor Who night, I'm gone, says Brew and Glue. Well, I'm sure it won't be all night, but... Emma Jane says the Brigadier was the best Doctor Who character. That's interesting. Mayhem says Tennant was epic, Matt Smith was funny. Yes, that sums them both up quite well.
I think they both really brought the characters. They were just so full of vigour, and they just made it interesting because they were so enthusiastic. I really liked that.
Shane says that he thought of you earlier, Spid, when he saw a Telio 16 Harley FLH and sidecar for sale at £340.
Blimey.
Blimey. Adam's here,
I didn't
so
know
we'll
you
go
were
to a
on
full camera view.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes. Ooh.
I am
Why are we
slightly
getting
broken.
a close up of Spid's stomach. I don't really need that. We
I
don't
was-
need that. Nobody needs to see that.
I was just I was just
Are
trying
we
to
all
find
doing this then? All right. I'd better not move it. I can't.
Is it because Adam turned up? Is it what
so
it
I
is?
can come and say hello. Come here.
You don't need to do it just because of me. It's fine.
Tim says, true story, in the 1960s film, the Daleks were originally planned to have flamethrowers. I quite believe that, yep.
Oh, now they would have been cool. Daleks with flamethrowers, yeah. I'm up for that.
Sarah Jane says, K9 was the best character, never needed walking or feeding or cleaning up afterwards. Pretty accurate as well, yep. And Emma Jane also left K9 as well. Tim got into the BBC repeats in the 90s, mostly Pertwee. Cool. It's a 4 head show. I've got hair, look. Adam's broken, send for the apothecary. Yeah.
Yeah, the fun of...
No time whatsoever, that'd be fine.
Yeah, get me a cleric. Yeah, I was basically just in work, and I was on my 8th day, my 7th day in a row out of 9. And then I went to get some out of the oven, got up, I was fine, went to go back down, and it was not fine. I was in a lot of agony. So I finished up my 9 days, and I've just been relaxing and paint. I've got doing a bit of painting today, but yeah. Pulley back, so it's all the fun.
Yeah, right. That's fine.
Yeah.
There we go. We've got an extra little visitor to the stream.
Yay!
There you go.
Hang about, I have to put your full screen for that.
Well, let's see. Let's think of a name for him.
What is it, like a weevil or something?
I don't know. It's some kind of little beetle.
Space Weevil.
What does it taste like?
I'm not entirely sure.
Can
I
you
can
put it in
nail
a
it,
pie?
and you can tell me.
You could lick it. Go on, lick it.
Oh,
you dropped
Oh,
it.
I've seen people eat scorpions. You can manage that.
now, if anything gets typed into the chat, it's not me. It's the beetle.
Yeah, okay, we'll make a note of that. Yeah. Philip's here, Primetime Modelling. Evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late. That's not a problem. You're more than welcome to turn up at any time you like. And telling me his sticker arrived saying, yeah, you told me that on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, good to hear. Yours is there. Look, it's a little bit behind me light at the moment, but it's on camera most of the time. That's that. Emma Jane says, I wonder how many kits I can get if I said I'd watch all the Doctor Who series with Tim. That would be a lot of viewing, because they go back a long way.
Oh, yes.
I don't know exactly. I mean, there's like 12 or 13 seasons of the new stuff, isn't there?
And then the thing is, don't forget, there's also the missing episodes as well, the lost episodes. So you have Doctors 1 to 8, then you have the movie, then you have the War Doctor, then you have from Christopher Eccleston, and then you have then you've got like, I don't know how many missing episodes from the early series because of the BBC archives. And quite a lot of them have been found quite regularly. Like, there's been some couple of years ago that turned up in someone's attic of all places, like someone's in someone's garage and stuff like that. They just keep popping up every now and again. All these like lost episodes, and a lot of the old books are actually the book format of the lost episodes, apparently.
Right. I never knew that.
Yeah. My favourite Doctor Who was the guy who ate jelly babies.
Osric saying his name's Dave. Ian says it should be Model Making Beetle.
Model Making Beetle, yes.
Oh, Kit Bash Bug.
Yeah. Dave the Model Making Beetle. We shall see.
Philip, I can't remember if I said it or not. You did, but it's not a problem, mate. Welcome. Thank me as many times as you like.
So, on the Doctor Who subject, what's the most memorable? For everybody. For me, it was the cheesy Cybermen with the silver Wellington boots and the teapots on the head. They weren't remotely scary in the least, but I just remember them really clearly because the costumes were so bad.
Pretty much, yep.
I think for me, it was probably what was it? The first appearance of, is it Davros, like the leader of
Davros.
half
I
gone.
don't remember being scared by any of the original
No.
Doctor Who films.
God,
The
no.
one that scares me
Well,
now and still
scared.
does are the Weeping Angels, the stone things.
Oh yeah, they were
They
properly
scare
scary,
the Jesus out of me now, but yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Eric's asking me to ask Philip how quickly your audience can turn on you. I'd quite like my audience to turn on me because they're already quite confrontational and nasty. So surely them turning on me would be being nice, just like B3's been, B Cube's been today. So.
Wouldn't it be great to have like a full-size dummy of one of the Weeping Angels, just so you could like stick it,
Move it around the house.
Yeah, just in front of people's doors, and then knock and hide around the corner. And
You'd get in so much trouble, wouldn't you?
Oh, that'd be so good.
And I'm back. Sorry about
that.
Do you
Shane
not
says
get, like,
the
the
Dalek
Weeping
little
Angels
domes around the
like
bottom half with
this
Series 2
format?
Morris 8 Carl sidelight lenses. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. They use whatever they had there
Yes,
to hand,
I
didn't they?
believe. So, sorry, Jerry, what was that?
Yeah, if you want to stand as like a big weeping angel, just go down like London or most city centres and you'll find people dressed up like them.
Right.
Yeah.
Those statues.
Yeah,
and then-
there is. All living statues are weird.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, the whole living statue thing's just weird.
Still, they're not as bad as mine.
The only time I've ever
This is
seen any in the flesh, as it were, was in Whitby. When I had a day out in Whitby, and in the Market Square bit, there were some people dressed up as bronze statues.
I've seen them in
that-
Manchester quite a bit when I've been in Manchester.
Yeah, but I've
They
never,
weren't just real statues.
never actually. Well, I've never really been to any big cities, other than when I've been down in Yorkshire, and you know, they're not huge cities that people visit, really. But I mean, London and places, obviously, you're going to see it.
Shane says that the Cybermen scared him.
Is that because your mum said, if you don't behave, you're going to get some wellies like that?
Yeah. B Cube says that the worst one was the Bertie Bassett monster on Martin Clunes in lipstick. I remember the Bertie Bassett monster. I don't remember the Martin Clunes one.
I don't remember the Bertie Bassett monster. Oh, I tell you one that did freak me out was those little fat things that fell off.
You know we
people.
can't see where your hand is when it goes down there. It's just,
Do you know the one where people were? It was something about losing weight, and they've got like little blobs falling off them.
oh yeah, that was one of the new ones. Yeah.
Falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they freaked me out. Because at first they got that kind of slightly cute look about them, but at the same time they were a bit freaky.
Yeah.
I don't
there's
remember
some
that. Oh,
strange
is that a new
ideas
one?
they have in those.
It was it a David Tennant one, or was it before Tennant? Was it Christopher Eccleston one? It was either Eccleston or Tennant, I'm sure.
I have a vague, actually, I have a vague memory of it because I know it was because I started watching it with Matt Smith. Because Matt Smith ended up doing my head in a lot, and I never bothered.
B3 says it's the adipose.
The adipose, apparently. Was it? Which Doctor was it? Was it David Tennant? I know it was one of the newer ones. Definitely.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember, but someone will know. But
Oh.
yeah, I know the
Someone's
first
done it.
episode with Eccleston in it was Shop Dummies.
Yes, that was decent because those things are scary as all hell. But in Winterford when I was a kid, there was a model shop which used to do mainly trains like Hornby and your standard train fare and depot stuff. But the other thing they used to sell was a huge selection of the old Doctor Who figures because obviously it was by Depot who did all the train stuff. So when me and my dad were building trains and stuff like that, it used to be Doctor Who. Ooh. And I used to have a couple of Doctors and Dalek and bits and pieces like that.
David Tennant one. Were they trained scale or were they?
Oh no, they were like 3 3/4 like Star Wars, like classic Star Wars size, but they had better articulation. They had knees and elbows.
Yeah, they were action figure size. Then.
Yeah, no, it sounded like action figure size, but they were pretty well articulated for the time. But but over years you see them now and they're just so floppy. They don't stand the test of time because it's just like a little pin, and they just go fly. But
Yeah.
they're decent quality as a kid. They
did what was it? Action Force. The Action Force figures, which were the same size as Star Wars, and they were the
Yeah,
same.
I remember Action Force. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the later one of those, I think it was when it was the company that was GI Joe kind of took over the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing with that was
changed those into articulated elbows and knees and things, which were kind of
Yeah,
cool. But they
the
got
whole
really
thing with that was G.I. Joe started, then Action Force started. I think I was a spin-off from Action Man, and the G.I. Joe figures were repackaged, repainted, and slightly remolded into Action Force.
All right.
And then that went bust, and then we just ended up getting G.I. Joe figures as standard. But I think they were called something slightly different. I'm not too sure about that. I like G.I. Joe in Action Force, but I was mainly G.I. Joe as a kid. But that whole thing as not being a big fan, but still like.
I do remember I had because I went off Star Wars figures relatively quickly, so I didn't have that many of those or vehicles. I had the odd few, but I had quite a few Action Force ones because I read the comic book, because it was a weekly comic book when I was a kid.
Right.
And I had quite a collection of Action Force figures, and because that's why I recognised the tank, one of the scratch builds that Scott did, the Action Force tank, and it ran on C-size batteries. I think it was like four or 6 C-size batteries. It was just a motorised. You set it going and off it went kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you couldn't radio control it or anything, but it was really cool. I mean, it was a good sized tank you could set the figure in.
As a kid born in the 80s, my whole thing was like Transformers and like Visionaries and stuff like that. So I was always the reason I like big robots, and I cannot lie, isn't because of Transformers, but for some reason Gundam doesn't quite sit right with me for some reason.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
There's something about it I can't get on with, but generally big robots are my thing. Giant Robo, Evangelion, and stuff like that. But as a kid, for me, it wasn't really G.I. Joe's. And it was me like Transformers. I was into fantasy, so like AD&D, Visionaries, which was fantastic. I recently discovered a cartoon I used to watch as a kid called The Bots Master, and for years I've been trying to think of what it was called. And I came along to it. I found they do opening sequence, like that's it, and I've been watching it for about 3 days. I'm just like, this is terrible, but also amazing. It was just so perfectly 90s in its refinement, and a bit racist.
I was into the D&D stuff, the fantasy stuff. There were loads of kids when I was at school that were. A lot of them used to play the sort of D&D just dice game and writing down before you did all the with figures tabletop stuff.
Yeah.
Have meetings and go to each other's houses and we'd play the D&D games and stuff. But I was just never really into that whole fantasy side of it. I like the sci-fi stuff and I like the sort of Action Forces stuff. And action figure type stuff in general, but not so much the sort of fantasy. I don't know. It's I like watching movies based on it, but I've just never really been into the figures.
I don't know how I went into fantasy. I think it boiled down to two main things. So like a lot of anime. I've been into anime since I was like 4 or 5 years old, so that was a big part of it. But I think it's pinpointed down to watching a movie called Flight of Dragons when I was a kid, and still really enjoying that movie and having that movie on DVD now is fantastic. That and the fighting fantasy books. Those two combined together were like the big reasons I'm like still into fantasy. Then that opened up, and then we had the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, which I got into, and then from there it just kind of snowballed.
God, I hate. Right, hands up, everybody who hated Uni. Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my God! How annoying was that bloody little bleating shite?
Every show's got to have that one character that's there to be disliked by lots of people.
The cartoon was cool otherwise. Apart from that bloody dungeon master, I mean, what use was he? Little guy with his.
I like the dungeon master. I aspire to be the dungeon master. When I play D&D game, I want to be that guy. The thing is, it wasn't too bad. It served its purpose because in every show at that time you had that character. And that's what the humans in Transformers were. And they were the Uni essentially. It's like, oh, we got to protect them. Humans. But now you've got to protect the Unicorn. And to be fair, there have been worse animal sidekicks in cartoons. There have been a lot worse ones, let's face it. I can't think of any at the moment because I'm on the spot, but I'm sure there's been worse.
Snarf in He-Man. Oh no,
yeah.
Snarf was in Thundercats. But there was one in He-Man as well, the wizardy one.
Oh, the floating
like
wizard.
Jokey sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
There
always
wasn't many
something
visionaries, though, was there?
that is there for attempted
Can you
comic
remember?
relief, but yeah. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Attempted fails miserably.
thrown in for people to go, oh, isn't that cute, wasn't it? It
I
was,
think maybe, yeah,
tell
but
you
no.
what was good, cartoon-wise, Battle of the Planets.
Yeah, that's
Battle of the
pretty
Planets was
decent.
good. G-Force, yeah.
That was the coolest. That was the closest thing to anime that I had when I was a kid, because
Yep.
there literally was no anime when I was a
Well-
kid. If there had been, and I'd been exposed to that earlier, I know I would have loved it earlier. I mean, I
Yeah.
do now, but I was in my teens before I first found out about it.
Well, think about the
through-
planets was originally Japanese, and was a Japanese thing, and that's when you got like all the mecha stuff from that, and same with Voltron as well. And in a way, the Transformers originated in Japan through the Diaclone line.
Yeah,
and
but
they
that's the thing. I mean, when Transformers cartoon was on, that was the first sort of anime focused thing. That was the first thing with hints of anime that people knew in the UK.
Yeah.
And I was that kind of age where I was coming out to cartoons, so I paid less attention at that time. Where
I've never stopped with cartoons. I've always carried on with cartoons for my entire life.
well, it's just that whole part. I mean, I watch cartoons and I love them now, but it's that whole part about the growing up. You get to that age where you know, where you've got that thing in your head. It's like, oh, I'm growing up. I'm just going to get too old for that nonsense. And then
I miss that step.
Why am I not thinking like that? I should be watching this. It's fun. So that was the thing. I mean, I love anime. It's absolutely amazing. Speaking of which, I have just found out last night that they made a live-action version of Real Life. If anyone who likes anime, if you haven't seen Real Life, go watch Real Life immediately. It's amazing. And they just made a live-action. They made a live-action version in 2017, which I wasn't aware of, but I found
I don't know about that.
It's actually really good. Very, very close to the anime. It's not bad at all. Very well done.
Now Emma Jane seems to be. Where'd you get the Flight of the Dragons DVD? My absolute favourite film as a kid, and I cannot find it.
Archive collection from Warner Brothers is print on demand, and it's not cheap. It is not a cheap thing to try and get hold of. But yeah, if you head over to WarnerArchive.com, it's on there. If it's still about, I don't know. I got this 10 years ago or something. I got it a long time ago.
Speaking of Transformers and such stuff, did anyone hear about that new Transformer toy from Hasbro?
No.
No.
The giant Unicron.
Oh yes.
It's like 400 and something quid. Stands about 21 inches tall, and apparently takes over an hour and a half to transform.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be crap in a battle, though, wouldn't it?
Is that the helicopter?
No, that was the giant planet. The
right.
killer planet from the
I saw
1986 movie.
someone posted. I think it might be in the group actually. A picture of a helicopter. I don't know what type, flavour of helicopter it was. Big helicopter, and we were saying like looks like a great model. It looks lovely, and it was actually a transformer. And then he showed another picture of it as robot form, and it's like it didn't look like a transformer. It looked like a helicopter model.
There's some really good transformers like that.
Very
But there's
impressive.
a couple of Unicron knockoffs already out, which have actually done better than the Hasbro version, better than the Hasbro HasLab version. Because there's been quite a few people who have ordered like 4 or 5 of them. Because as soon as it's gone and they're out and people have got them, instead of them being £400, the price will skyrocket to like 1,000 and stuff like that. So people have bought a couple of them as an investment.
Yeah.
But there's also
Hour and a
third
half to
party
transform it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a bit much. You wouldn't do that very often, would you?
At least that-
Sarah Jane seems very happy. She says, Transformers, a new low has been reached. I wonder
Nothing
what
wrong
we can
with
do that's even
Transformers.
lower than
Nothing wrong with
Transformers.
Oh, trust me, we can get a lot lower than this, and we have done in the past. Do not say things like that; it will just go downhill.
If you're paying that much money for a transformer, you don't want to be able to transform it in 10 minutes, do you? Let's be honest. You want your
Yeah, but
money
it's not a puzzle.
If I'm paying that much for a transformer, I want it to damn well transform itself.
Yeah. I mean, the most I've ever spent on, as a kid, the most I ever spent on a Transformer was £40 odd. I saved up for a couple of weeks for it. I got more expensive ones for birthdays, but as in adulthood, last year I bought a Jetfire, which cost me 75, 80 quid, and that's sat up on top of my shelving, which just hovers over everything else I've got. It's nearly, the tower I've got, the MDF tower. It's nearly as big as that. It's freaking huge, and it's great. I love it. I always wanted a Jetfire, and now I have one. I rule.
As much as I thought the Transformer stuff was cool, I never had an actual Transformer toy. I was collecting Zoids at the time,
Zoids.
Cool.
Which I loved because you built them and then you could wind them up and they'd move as well. And the bad guy ones were the best because they had the best designs, and they had one that was like a and a snake, and they were just cool.
Speaking of robotic dinosaurs, does anyone remember Dino Riders?
Yes. I know of it, but I don't actually remember it when it was out. But I do know of it. But on the subject of Transformers, one of my mates, my best mate from down south, he has got still in his parents' loft his hoard of Transformers toys from when he was a kid. And every time I go down and say to him, "Get all your Transformers out of the loft. Let's get them all in the room, and we'll sit and make a video and show them all." Because
the trouble is, if you didn't keep the instructions, you won't remember how to transform them.
Really soft. We won't do it.
It'll take you ages to figure out how to do it.
I keep trying to get him to get up in his. I think the problem is worried that the instant he actually steps up into his parents' loft, his dad will actually say, "While you're up there, all that other crap of yours."
That's fair. That is fair.
I think that's
got mine in the loft. All mine
right, I'm going to nip across to the gallery and see what people have been putting in this week.
But I know that Eric put a hell of a lot of photos in.
Have you? Oh, okay. Well,
all I got on my notifications were Eric put 9 photos. Eric put 6 photos.
We have Steve has put up a picture of his new Lego. It was a bike. It's Ducati apparently because it says it on it. I don't know anything more than that, but it looks good. I like it. It's enough Technic, but enough Lego to make it look nice as well. I like it. I don't know who the huge guy in the background is, but Steve has also been doing some more hover vehicle things. I think he primed it and then he decided to put some more guns on it, by the looks of it. So Eric says I only put in 3. I don't know, maybe 3 folders. I'm not sure. This was the other ones. Oh, that was the bike before it was a flying bike. That was it. There you go. It was Sal.
No, it might have been Eric. No, not Eric. Edward. Uploaded it.
Well, this was Sal putting this picture up, which, as I say, when I looked at it, I thought it was just a model kit. But it isn't. It is, but it isn't. It does actually transform as well. I don't know if it's the next picture or the one after, but no, it's not the next picture. This is from Nat, what Paige has been sewing, I think during one of the live streams. There we go. That's what the helicopter looks like.
Cool. Is that not the one from the film? Like the film version one?
That's the first. That's the first. What's his name? Can't think of his name. And that's the first kind of one you see in the first movie, which is the first movie
Transformers Studio Series Blackout.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
it's the first movie's okay, and the other ones are trash. Apart from Bumblebee, which is actually really good.
Movies. As long as you don't expect anything from them, that's exactly what you get.
It's crazy detail, though. See what you mean?
Really
it really
is,
does look like
there we go. David's been putting up model kits of the blimp, the airship, which looks quite cool.
Yeah.
It's a different. I've seen a different one, but I haven't seen that one in particular. I've seen a slightly different one that they seem to do.
Cool.
But that looks alright. It's nice.
Is that the same make as the model of the wooden kits you were doing?
It's. I've done a couple of different ones. This is, I think, judging by the big R on the side of it, is the Rocker or Roxer, which I think did the puzzle box. But Yu-Gi-Oh seem to be the ones that I'm doing a lot of at the moment.
Mm.
But yeah, that looks lovely. Paul DeSmasso received his package from Philip Prime. He's got his mugs and pens and stickers. Steve has been bored, so he's been going down his bits box again. Some sort of Nerf something. I don't know. Is it ammo pack or I don't know. I don't know anything about Nerf.
I think that's the keyring one. Like you keep seeing in B&M.
It's
Might be wrong.
not anymore. It's going to be some flying jetpack thing. After he's stuck lots of different things on it from various different aeroplanes and other things and stuff, and yeah, unrecognisable now.
Absolutely brilliant. I just love his imagination. It's fantastic. I've got no imagination when it comes
obviously
to
some
stuff
more
like
artwork by Sal. I didn't notice them pop up. That's strange.
The Huntress Kills Cthulhu. I love it.
Put those up yesterday. Yeah, I think he takes pictures and then adds obviously to them.
Okay, right.
Yeah, he did one of his kids' football ground, didn't he?
Yeah, that was right. It was a bit misty, so he decided to make it otherworldly. But I don't know if these are his background pictures and then he's added stuff to them, or if he's just taking stock pictures. But it's all creative stuff and it's great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to meet that in a dark alley. Or underground, underwater. David, he's got his prize from eModels. Interesting to see that when you built it. Frankie, what was it? Alice something? I pressed the button. Alice Steampunk Girl.
Oh,
Diesel
okay.
kits on 16th. Interesting figure to paint.
What make is that one?
It says Diesel Kits across the top.
Diesel Kits, all right.
Actually, it's
It's
dieselkits.de.
a little bit Warhammery. I was just.
It's very steampunk. It says
Yeah, I don't know if
steampunk.
it's for anything in particular or just the general, that's how we've done it. There we go. Oh, this is Philip. He's one of his childhood kits, the Ferrari,
That's the Magnum one,
the
isn't
Magnum
it?
Ferrari. He built years ago and is now disassembling and remaking and improving it. It's interesting to see the upgrades and things he's going to be doing on that. He was saying he's done the panels, he's scratch built them because the originals were rubbish.
Is it going to have a genuine Hawaiian shirt? Just
I would expect he's got to, yeah.
He just managed to have to go from Outrun. That's all I see when I see that. I just think the game Outrun by Sega.
I suppose that depends how old you are, really.
That was it was a Testarossa convertible, which was a car that never existed in Outrun.
Oh, he's cutting out the windscreen. Oh, got a Dremel. I like to see a Dremel in use.
I remember that because I had to sit and look at that for day after bloody day for a year when I worked in an arcade. Oh, the best sound in the whole world at the end of that season was the very last day when they shut the power to the building. And we were done for the season, and all of the beeps and all the theme music that you heard every single day, and it just all silenced for the last time that year.
I can imagine it being kind of sad though, in a way, just like everything's gone and there's no sounds.
No,
So
really.
can you hear that?
Yeah.
After a full day, after a full shift, around an arcade floor and standing in a cash box and just hearing the same things on loop.
I'm not sure what this is that Eric's building, but it's looking good. Undercarriage, it's got proper wood panelling effect. Oh, there we go, that's what it is. Some sort of pickup truck. And Edward's been doing more giant guns. Look at the size
That
of
is
that
a
gun.
big
That's just
gun.
huge, isn't it?
What's that?
Not very realistic though, is it? Really, You'd need a giant robot suit to be able to carry it.
You would. Yeah, that thing's huge.
It's ridiculous.
To be fair, it's quite impressive how it's not falling over from. You know what I mean? It's to get the balance of it is quite impressive.
It's obviously got really powerful toes.
That's why they have the long feet on those ones, and then they'll also have a back unit on it to counterbalance the gun.
I assume that this bit down here is going to be added to it at some point somewhere.
Probably one of the
more
alternate
gun.
weapons.
Oh, it might be the back bit. That might be a thruster's unit or something. But yeah, that's just ridiculously huge.
You can
That is
almost
I thought it was.
imagine the Japanese that created these, you can almost imagine them watching Iron Man 2, where the War Machine suit was created. You can imagine
There's got some
them
leftover bits though.
the War Machine suit and going, "Oh bless, look, they tried."
Apparently these are all the leftover parts.
Oh
Wow.
wow,
I know somebody who'd like that.
yes, yeah.
Radio control. What? Hey, what? Don't tell me that was that. It's not radio controlled, is it? Don't tell me it's radio controlled, because that'd be. Oh.
No, but I have seen radio controlled ones. And they're
I
just
don't know what you're going to be controlling with that, but it's got more flips and switches and buttons than mine ever used to have. It didn't. Oh, it's a helicopter by the looks of it. It's got an LCD panel on the bottom as well. That's very impressive.
helicopter or possibly a drone, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, that looks
Helicopter.
nice. I always wanted a radio-controlled helicopter, but knew that I'd crash it as soon as I flew it.
I had one, but they were just ridiculously hard to fly. They never told you how hard they were to fly them.
I always assumed that they'd be really, really difficult to fly, but I've flown in flight sims helicopters, so I'm sure I'd be much the same.
It's a different kettle of fish.
They're difficult to hover. That said, when I last flew RC helis, there have been massive improvements.
Well, yeah, I mean, like basically drones now fly themselves.
Yeah,
don't they?
in
So
the
in
same
theory,
way-
helicopters can do the same thing.
Yeah, like heading and position lock. You could probably do that with helicopters now. Now, when I started with RC helis, all you had was a gyro on the tail.
Yeah.
The reason being, if you were hovering into a wind and then you got a sudden side gust, it could actually whip the tail around, which would leave you disorientated because you were then facing the wrong direction to counteract it. So the gyro would actually halt that
Keep you
move,
pointing in the right direction. Yeah.
and it wouldn't actually correct it back. It would just halt movement. So you'd have to correct it. You'd have to correct the yaw yourself. But the later ones, as they got more advanced, they would actually recorrect that direction. But
Edward's
hovering-
saying he crashes a lot.
yeah, when I
But
first
in the
started-
sim, he could hover it inverted. That's impressive.
I've never gone anywhere near that. But when I was learning, I remember a guy at the RC club that I used to go to saying that learning to hover is like balancing a marble on a bowling ball, and that's the
Yeah.
best description of it I've ever heard. Flying it is like flying an aeroplane, pretty much. Once you're actually in motion, the controls are much like an aeroplane. The
Yeah,
difference
that
is
makes sense to me.
hovering.
Edward's been packaging things from his cabinet. It's the first model he made in a 40-year absence from model making, about 3.5 years ago. He says it's not very good, but I'm posting it anyway.
That's
It is
bloody
very good.
awesome.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's weathered heavily, which we all like. But yeah, I'm sure if you were to redo the same thing again now, you'd do it differently. But there's nothing wrong with that one.
The thing is, what with that, it makes it's Gunpla, but in a grim, dark future aesthetic. You know what I mean? It looks like it'd fit on with like a 40k.
It's seen better
Titan.
days, isn't it? But that's all right.
I think that's great.
Cool.
I assume that's what it looks like when it comes back from its, worst mission ever. Before they rekit it and make it all shiny again.
I'm gonna have to get some Gunpla. I'm gonna have to get one, aren't I? I really am.
I really must actually build the 2 perfect grades I've got in the attic.
That's one of the shinier ones. I don't know what one that is either. I think I did the little
That's
one of
a
that. Is that the
Shinaju.
Sazabi Shinanju?
Yeah, that's a Shinanju.
That's the one. I built the mini one of that. I recognise the little spiky bits on his shoulders.
I've got a resin version of that, which is a heavily modified Shinanju, but I've just never had a chance to get around to building it. I had to get like 2 dome kits for the body parts, and then to add all the resin stuff to it.
Oh, this is what we saw Steve building earlier, but now primed. So you'd never know that it was a Nerf gun container thing.
Cool.
But yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Steve's got some Green Knights Nemesis Dread Knight. I don't know. I doubt that he's going to be building it like that though. It might happen.
Yeah, let's be realistic. It's probably not.
Space Marine Black Attack, an old 40k.
Yeah, they're
the old
horrible.
bikes.
They are absolutely horrible.
They are, but to be fair, when they came out at the end of second edition, start of third edition, it was like, oh, this is amazing. The new bikes are fantastic. And then 30 years and they're still doing it. I was like, wow, these crap things are still here.
Edward's been doing little. Are they? I want to say MAK, but I think I'm wrong.
No, you're right. They're mat kits. They're little mini
God, I've
mat
got to say
kits.
right. So everyone noticed I said the right thing once. Doesn't look happy in there, does he?
Yeah, tiny. I think. If
Well, yeah,
those
because
met-
there's a 20p next to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, properly nasty looking as well. I don't know. I assume it's got screens on the inside of that one.
Is that cutting that metric or imperial? I can't tell.
I have no idea. You might he's in chat, Edward. He might let you know. But
Maybe it's both.
Steve says it's mostly going to be like that, but different. And the bike was £2. He couldn't not get it. Yeah, for £2, I'm sure you had to pick that one up. Oh, that doesn't look very happy. I'll let someone else talk about that.
Yeah, well, I wanted the Dullahan Mini for ages, and there's one coming out from WizKids soon, but I was around a friend's house a couple of weeks ago playing D&D, and his girlfriend had this in her display cupboard. I was like, whoa, what's that from? So I tracked it down, found it, and got it cleaned up. It took a while, because it's from a board game, the moulding on it isn't great.
Is
so
it
it took
meant
a
to
lot.
be holding its own head?
Yeah, it's a Dullahan. It's essentially the Headless Horseman from like folklore.
Okay.
But yeah, I managed to track it down, and then due to lack of mojo for this month, because of Eat Out to Help Out is not great. Being a chef, it really sucks. I've been doing that at the mojo, but today I thought, I'm just going to do a bit of it, and just got the base coats done, got the washes done, so it's it's kind of halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fun.
Tom has been doing his Tony Planes still.
Apparently, a load of restaurants pulled out of that in Manchester.
Yeah, there's quite a few because the customers have been arsehots about it. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, there we go. Nice little dial there as well.
Go.
And drilling holes in it. Obviously bullet holes, battle damage. Looking good. Emma's work in progress house. Making two the same. One will be summer with flowers and the second will be autumn with pumpkins and leaves. That's interesting.
Very nice.
Cool.
Had to move to N gauge 148 scale as running out of space. It's a good scale. I like that scale. I'll stick with that. There we go. Somebody accidentally spent money.
Yeah. So I had an order placed at Goblin Gaming for some paints, and one of the paints finally came in yesterday. So I said, "Hey, can I come pick it up this morning?" They're like, "Yep, no problem." So drove up. A few days ago, a friend told me about another place in my town, and it's apparently been there for 5 years, but I'd never heard of it. I've only been back into the hobby for 3 years. So I looked it up. I was like, "Oh, okay, let's go up and have a look." And the differences between, don't get me wrong, I think Goblin's great. I love going to those guys, but you can't really walk around because it's mainly online.
All right. Yep.
And they have a little bit outside, but you can't really walk around massively. Like, so most of the stuff is in the storeroom, but this place you could walk around. So I was like, oh well, get new paint. Oh, I need
That's
a new
dangerous.
dry brush. I need a new dry brush because it's chiseled and mine's knackered. And then I saw these. I thought, oh, these would be great for D&D. These are really nice, kind of like, one could be a necromancer, one could be whatever. But like at the end of a dungeon, these are the bad guys type thing. So I spent about an hour getting them done today, painted up, built together.
We can't really see them yet, but we'll come back when we're Back full screen.
But yeah,
Oh, that was the last one. So we're back full screen. Let me get rid of that, and then we can bring you full screen, and you can show us them now.
yeah.
Cool. Is that one on my right? On a giant skull or something?
Yes, it is on the giant skull.
Okay. Is it an actual skull and they're tiny, or is it a giant monster skull? Or
It's a giant monster skull. I'm
Okay.
going to led to believe.
they are
Well,
sized people?
The whole thing that I'm annoyed about really is that I bought these because I think they look great, and they're 14 quid. So I thought these will go really well with D&D. And like a lot of the Bone Reaper stuff will lend itself to D&D really nice because it's skeletons and undead and stuff like that. So if I run Tomb of Annihilation, it'll probably fit in quite nicely with lots of that type of thing. My big fear is I am going to end up with accidentally end up with a Bone Reaper army, a full force Bone Reaper army accidentally by buying, oh, this looks cool. Oh, I could get some more skeletons. Oh, how about some zombies? Oh, I'll get Nagash for a big, for Vecna or something. And one day I'll just like, I might as well just buy the Codex and be done with it.
I wouldn't. The Bone Reapers have a lot of nice figures, and you will go bankrupt.
Yeah, this is what this is why I'm just buying the odd one or two, but I definitely do want to get Nagash for a painting project because I just think he looks great, and he's miles better than the old one from Warhammer 3rd edition, 4th edition.
To be honest, most things are better than that early edition of Nagash. So
yeah, this is true. This is very true. Okay,
Tim
the
says
early
he's
edition
drilling
of
out the
Nagash.
holes for armament of the Corsairs. There'll be Aeronavale examples, very heavily weathered. So yeah, it's looking like they're going to be looking quite good. So yeah, interested to see them as they come along. Steve was talking about the mech looks like a robot with a baby carrier slung on the front. Sort of inside it. Yeah, I know what you mean, but no. Right, there we go. That was the gallery. The thing is down. I can put it. I haven't done the buttons for a long time, have I? Let's push a button. You too can join the Gross group and post your pictures in the gallery. I'll put the link in the chat, and it should appear there momentarily. There it is. Join in, put some pictures up, and next week we'll go through and have a look. And yours might well be there. Well, it will be there if you put it there, because that's how it works. I shall endeavour to put some pictures up myself during the week. I haven't been building anything, and not having done the Wednesday show yesterday. I haven't done anything. I've done some X-Wing. I've got some X-Wing videos going up all week, but nothing that I can sort of show off. So
cool.
you never know. Next week there might be some origami.
Cool. I've just been converting my Indomitus box set. So
converting to what from what? Eh?
well, the Games Workshop Indomitus box set. I'm converting the Outriders at the moment.
Oh right, cool.
The new Space Marine bikes. So
Sounds fun.
it's not.
It doesn't have to be fun as long as it sounds fun. Right, I'm getting very, very warm here again tonight, so I'm ready to sort of call it an evening if there's nothing else happening. Anybody else?
No worries.
We've all done all the talking and stuff and things. So thank you all for joining me this evening. I thought I was going to be on my own this evening, so it's nice that the three of you popped in and joined in. You know you're always welcome. I'll get rid of you in the order in which I've got you on the bottom of the screen here. So Adam, the broken Raging Modeler, hopefully you'll be repaired very shortly.
If I'm repaired next week, I'll put the fixed Raging Modeler, just for the sake of continuity.
Thank you very much. We'll see you again
No
soon.
problem. Thanks for having me.
Have a nice evening.
Jerry, the last through standing, indeed. Thank you for coming in.
Good night, all.
And Spid, thank you very much again.
Thank you for having me.
Have you found your friend yet?
No, it was hanging around behind the camera somewhere back here. Not just
right,
sticking down in case it
As long as
bites.
he's around somewhere and you
It's hanging
recover him
around.
before he
It's very
melts or you tread on him or something.
Dave the model making geek is very shy. We'll get him his own channel and a little
That'd be good. We're all like and subscribe. Yep. Thank you again. See you soon.
Well,
And then there was me. Yes, it's me. I have completely lost track of most things. I know other people have got streams on other channels and things throughout the weeks and days to come. I don't remember who's. I think it's Ted's turn on Sunday for the Warhammer, so it'll probably be Ted. If it's not Ted, then it might be me. So have a look around and see who's coming along on Sunday. We'll no doubt figure it out before Sunday. If it's me, I'll put a coming soon thing up. If it's Ted, it might not, but we'll figure it out and just watch whatever's on. Monday's back to e-models, and then Wednesday, I shall be attempting some origami live on the telly. So come along and watch and giggle and heckle and poke fun at me when I fold things the wrong way, because I'm sure it will happen. So other than that, thank you all for coming along. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon for more stuff in the future times. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.